All right, go to Memento Hermano, who says, why does God allow wicked people to persist and bring forth more generations that will most likely go to hell? Mostly go to hell, you say, instead of bringing judgment on them and erasing their culture as soon as they go astray. So let me do my usual caveat here, Memento, is to suggest that answering questions about why doesn't God, it puts me in precarious places. Because here I am actually trying to tell you God's motives and reasons for things. And unless I have clear scripture that tells me what God's motives and reasons are, I am liable to make something up based purely on my perceptions. So to give you an example of this, it'd be like asking a 4-year-old why their parent does certain things. And then particularly asking them hard questions. Your mommy loves you, doesn't she? Yes, she does. Well, then why does she leave you every day for hours and hours? And she has other people take care of you while she's at work. I don't think your mommy really loves you. And if the 4-year-old in that scenario was forced to either come up with a reason why mommy would leave them alone or give in to the idea that mommy just must not love them. I mean, maybe the 4-year-old doesn't really understand money that well, right? Or doesn't understand the economy that well. There's concepts that are just beyond a 4-year-old. And so what I'm going to suggest is a 4-year-old compared to an adult is way smarter than me and you compared to God. There are things about him governing the universe and ruling creation that are beyond our minds. This is not a foolish appeal to mystery. God works in mysterious ways. No. It's an appeal to humility. I have to just recognize I can't tell God his business because I don't know God's business. And the number of people who shake their fist at God because they think you should have done this, you should have done that. I want them to read the end of Job where Job's like, I was a fool for saying these things. And God just tells him, like, Job, were you there when I made the world? Were you there? You don't know what you're talking about. And how many parents have like been frustrated thinking, I wish I could just get my kid to understand. They're just a dumb little kid sometimes. Like just, you'll know when you grow up. And the kid's all frustrated. You compared to God, like you just got to trust him. Okay. He's God. He earns and deserves your trust. If you can't explain his actions, that's okay. But to then conclude that he's wrong is way beyond our intellect and our life experience. So let me then try to answer the question to the best of my ability. All that being said, I do see multiple times where God has done this in the scriptures, right? In the flood, he wipes them out, all the wicked, wipe them out. The idea is that, hey, by having a godly family restart the world, things will go better. But the flood demonstrates that that's not the case because people just go astray all over again. Then God does what? He starts his own nation where he gives them his own laws, the Jewish people. And what do? They go astray, right? The message of the scripture would be that no matter what you do, humans are going to sin and they're going to do their own thing. And God, he is not going to fix things by picking the best godly family and resetting everything. Like it just won't work. What I'm suggesting is the solution that you had of why not just bring judgment on them early, erase their culture as soon as they go astray, is that there is no culture that would last a generation, even if that was God's standard, if God did that. So God is long suffering. And this is where I can give you scripture. Scripture tells us God is long suffering. The reason why he hasn't brought judgment yet is that he's not willing any should perish, but that all should come to everlasting life. Because in the midst of wicked cultures and people sinning in the world, even today, just from the time the sun went up until now, there have been probably thousands, I don't know how many people around the world who've given their hearts to Christ today, who've put their faith in Jesus today. And so God's delaying judgment, letting more and more people get saved. And those who live sinfully and choose to reject Christ, that's their choice. Doesn't mean it's not sad, doesn't mean it doesn't grieve us, but it's not unjust for God to allow people to make those choices. So there's my best attempt to give that answer with hopefully some humility encouraged as well.